Rich in scandal, and for partisan connoisseurs, there is now a way to remember the political flim-flam, the red cheeks, and all that other fun stuff. Some left-wing jokesters have put together a delightful calendar, one dedicated to the memory of Socred scandal in BC.
It is a scandalous reminder that'll last a whole year, the 1982 Social Credit Scandal Calendar. It was born here in trendy Kitsilano, not that condo, but next door in the basement of Stan Persky's house. The calendar's creators are Lanny Beckman, Kathy Ford, and Stan Persky. What gave you the idea for a scandal calendar?
It came to us simultaneously. We added up the number of years we'd lived in BC, and it came to 108. And all but about 9 of those were under the Socred government.
Were there even 9 that weren't?
Well, those were the 3 years the NDP were in.
Well, of course,
Times
3 times 3.
We're very good, yeah. We used this calculator.
So personally, like I had lived under the NDP government since under the Socred government since 1952, and started to despair of actually throwing him out of office, and thought like a scandal calendar might be a kind of substitute, you know, sort of psychological blanket that I could use to live with him for the next 40 years.
Was it easier than writing Son of Socred, Stan? Is it not too rigorous history for you?
Well, I had very little to do with this, actually. I just drove the getaway car. I mean, really, you know, he's the brains behind the operation. She provided the muscle. And, you know, really, Your Worship, while I was sitting there outside the provincial archives keeping the motor running, I had no idea that they were planning to overthrow the state by the use of humor. So, I mean, you know, and Bill Bennett, I realize, drags people to court who have a better sense of humor than he does, but really, I mean, do I look like the kind of guy that would make fun of Bill Bennett?
Who wants to answer that question?
I'm not touching
I'm sort of disappointed after looking over the calendar, though, that you don't have a scandal a day. Is that because you gave up on the research after a while?
No, because there's some people, you know, unlike Stan, who actually use calendars to write appointments in, dentist appointments, you know, birthdays of people you don't like and so on. And so we thought, you know, we didn't want to fill up the entire thing. And leaving it like that it's a kind of like map people can follow through the year.
It is a map, all right. There's a map of, for example, BRIC or ICBC. Did you start at 1 year and work all the way through every time the government made an announcement about ICBC or BRIC? You put it in there?
Yeah, well, we did some intensive research, like we watched the news every night for the last 5 years.
No.
No, Kathy did time in the library.
I
It's
spent
true.
hours in the UBC and the Vancouver Public Libraries in the clipping file. My eyes are still recovering. I wrote down everything quite exhaustively that I came across, and some dates we remembered, and some new stuff I would stumble over. And then we just took it and threw some stuff out and kept the really outrageous stuff.
Well, let's take a look at a random scandal in there somewhere. Let's take a date off the top of the head. 5th of November. Can you open it up to the 5th of November, Kathy?
No, she can't.
Oh, yes, that was the McKay. I'm only following orders.
Ellen McKay, yes.
Yeah. Jack Kemp, who was Socred Caucus chairman, reprimanded researcher Ellen McKay because she was on the tape telling people to use dirty tricks. And she said, well, you told me to. She was amazing. I have real admiration for her, even if she was working for Socred. I mean, she really stuck to her guns. And there's no way she was going to be the fall guy.
You've immortalized
Here is
fall
Bill
woman, you mean?
The fall woman. Yeah.
Well, here's Bill Bennett's immediate reaction. Maybe you could show it to the people over there.
That's by Bob Krieger.
What minister did you feature for scandal? I mean, other than the Premier, of course, but is there a minister that you favor more than others for scandal in the calendar?
Grace.
Grace. Bill Bennett.
There's a lot of Grace.
There's a lot of two
Grace
Grace.
McCarthy.
Yeah.
There's the Gracie's
there's a
finger.
wonderful-
Gracie's finger, and she's involved in the dirty tricks.
Yeah, in an indirect way.
Indirectly.
There's a wonderful one of Pat McGear.
Have you got it? Oh, the
Being
cartoon.
Marie Antoinette when he told them let them sell their
You know,
cars.
if you can't afford auto insurance, sell your car. You know,
But Harry
good
Rankin-
practical
There's a nice
advice.
quote in there.
Yeah,
There's a nice
Harry-
quote in there from Harry Rankin. Why don't you?
He said,
It was Marie Antoinette McGear.
what demented person did this thing? It was Marie Antoinette McGear.
And that was done on the 1st of February, 1976.
The amazing thing about February is we have 2 on February 29th.
Oh, you
different
do?
years, yeah.
See, and this is you know, there's scandals in here. There are just normal outrages, crimes against
Yeah,
humanity. We've tried to give a range
Manny
here so that it just
divvied them
isn't,
into
you know,
three
just dull.
areas, yeah.
And then, of course, you know, we just keep reminding you how your brick shares are going up day by day, thanks to
once a
the
month.
premier of the
The monthly
province.
quote of the brick
It
shares.
was so
Yeah.
frustrating. We put this to press and it went down to 4.25.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I wanted to get it back, but Lanny wouldn't let me.
That's an average monthly value of the brick
This
share.
was the weekly low for various weeks.
In 1981, on June the 13th, bricks weekly low was 475, and the previous day, except it was 1979, Bill Bennett had told people, "Put my advice in headlines. Don't sell brick."
Oh, we put his advice in headlines.
Yeah. So on the next day we
Right.
put C yesterday. So
Then I think under all of this, you know, like we had a lot of fun doing this kind of thing,
it was
obviously.
depressing.
But at the same time, it's underneath it all, besides being useful as a calendar and actually tells you which day is which and all that sort of stuff, there's something quite serious, I think, underneath it, which is, you know, part of our intention down here from the basement. And that's really to sort of to say, here's your social credit government over X number of years. These are some of the things that they've done over the years that people shouldn't forget. And so, you know, like, I think there might be a tendency to say, well, why are you bugging us? Why are you people down here in the basement reminding us of these terrible things? And I think the serious part of it is, you shouldn't forget these things. This is what the government has done. Is this the kind of government you want? I guess that's one of the kinds of things we're saying, in addition to the fact that January 2nd follows January.
Well, don't you think, though, with all those scandals in there, that the forgetting of what the government has done over the years is part of, largely because of the volume of things you've compiled in there?
The other,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
the other
So
thing
this will, sorry.
that it's important to remember is that I was amazed going through and doing the research how many times things seem to be whitewashed, or a very minor fish took the rap for something, or they said, well, yeah, this wasn't very good, but there was no law broken. I found that very frustrating. It was like time after time after time.
So if you can't beat them at the polls, beat them on the calendar.
At least till the next
You know,
election.
there was the whole Richard Vogel thing, which probably is not very safe to talk about since I think there's a lawsuit. But
Therefore, it's not safe to talk about.
but
We actually have a lawyer who read it.
word.
Our lawyer.
he got his knuckles, even in one of the newspapers, got his knuckles rapped for allegedly interfering with a justice out in Richmond. And they said, well, he shouldn't have done it, but it was insufficient evidence, and, you know, we'll just leave it for now.
But you can find it on the Socred Scandal Calendar. What have you
Yes.
got? What other scheme is being hatched in this basement of?
We're at it day and night.
This is New Star Books, is it?
Yes.
Where we sit right now.
That's right.
This is, yeah.
What's the next project?
Well, the next project is Stan's new book.
Yeah.
What's the book?
This is a book about Poland. I went to Poland this summer, and I'm writing a book about Solidarity Trade Union and the strikes that took place in Poland, what they mean.
You're writing it in here while all the rest of the work is
Upstairs.
going on?
No.
Ah.
The creative division is up in the attic.
with the tranquilizers.
Don't you feel a bit,
Tie him up every day.
feel a bit cramped in here sometimes?
Well, whenever we do interviews, we tend to.
All sitting in a row, like 3 days in the week.
That's
One
right.
scandal, two scandal. Thank you all very much, and thanks for the calendar.
Thanks for coming down this far.
I'd like to mention that Stan Persky's calendar on sale at Duffy's and other fine bookstores in the area. Well, we'd like to